Hi everyone. This is interesting about the scale of the problem, I guess. Hi Claire, you teach about the perfect design in suffering on an individual level, micro level. Can it be also on a macro level in everything that's happening around the globe? Yeah, so the perfection of the design we're saying is the way reality appears and the inner response to that reality, when that inner response is one of separation, of a sort of resistance or resentment or incapacity, helplessness, lack, limitation. What is being revealed is that there's conditioning of trauma, of wounds, of learned ideas of lack. Really, it's the child conditioning is being reflected in a projected reality. So the reality isn't actually as it really is appearing. The reality is a construct of the conditioning of helplessness, which formed largely during childhood and then reconfirmed throughout our lives, and so that the reality is that conditioning playing out in terms of the me and the it, which looks separate but isn't. So the perfection of the design is ultimately showing no separation because it looks so separate. The more separate something is looking, the more clearly it's an indication that there is something going on in here in terms of beliefs and fears, needs, shame. So that's happening. So the listener's saying, well, that's happening at an individual level, micro level. Could it also be happening on a global, macro level? Well, I think the thing for us to consider is that in a way, everything is micro level, isn't it? Because everything's happening here. I might be thinking at the moment of, I don't know, poverty in India or the war in Ukraine, but that's no more less here. Sorry, that's a bit of a sort of double negative. That isn't any more out there than, like a sort of row that's happening with a colleague right now, at the desk right next to me. It looks like that's micro, it looks like that's personal and that's global world, but the experience of it is happening in the same place, isn't it? And it's being dictated by the same conditioning within here. So a row with a colleague that happens, like right here in my personal space is the same proximity, the same happening in the same place, created by the same origins as something in the furthest space imaginable, in space or time, deepest past, furthest future, furthest space. It's the same. It's all happening here. And this is what's so interesting about this exploration, is that all of reality is arising within this perceptual space, and this perceptual space is the content of it, the feelings of it, the stress within it, the experience of it is completely dictated by whatever's looking real. And whatever's looking real is coming from the belief structure, from the conditioning, from the subconscious mind. So there isn't, I would say, there's no personal global. It's all personal and none of it's personal. So it all looks personal as long as it's coming from conditioning, from the lens of me versus them, me versus it. All looks totally personal, but actually the perfection of the design is saying none of this is personal. There isn't a person that is controlling what's believed, controlling what experience is happening, controlling how conditioning takes place. There's no person doing that. So there's not really any person having the experience. It just really looks like it. So no micro or macro, just this right now. And this exploration is with each moving through, with each falling away of the beliefs of limitation, of what needs to be protected, what needs to be kept safe, defended, made stable, with all of that falling away, there's greater and greater capacity to take on more and more challenging problems, isn't there? So whether that means in terms of how problems are appearing out there or how problems are appearing within here is the same thing, isn't it? There's just different things will come in to be seen as those layers of conditioning gets worked through. So it's why I think, you know, when someone really gets to maybe core questions about parental upbringing, particularly if that was a very traumatic experience, that's right at the heart of the core of the identity. These layers go right down. So there's that journey of capacity within, or equally there might be this journey of capacity out, greater and greater reach of people, greater visibility, greater stands taken, greater taking on of what might from a small child may have seen completely, like, where would we even begin? But the revelation as there's more and more intimacy into these things to really see what they are, there's an expansion in terms of what's revealed, really, isn't it? So the experience is always here, and at the same time there's an expansion within and without, deeper into the conditioning and deeper into this world of form, where like problems dissolving laser, really. Yeah, it's interesting. Thank you. Lots of love. Bye.